Right, and welcome back to Builders Banter. I'm your host, Stuart, from SM Home Improvements and Maintenance. We're based down in Hereford. And today I've got three close friends with me today who've kindly give up some time and some money, should we say, because they're not earning while they're here, to spend some time with us to go over today's podcast. So hope everybody enjoys it. And we'll start off with introducing everybody. Everybody give yourself a name out, a promo, where you're from, what you do, where you come from, and when you're going back.
So I'm Scott Jackson from First Call Plumbing and Heating Solutions. We're based in Doncaster. We've been trading about 7 years now. Met Stu obviously on Trade Mastermind, and yeah, I'll be heading back tonight.
Yeah, Terry from West Coast Plumbing and Heating. We're based in the west coast of England. Sort of near Preston, a place called Blackpool, sunny Blackpool, have you ever heard of it? We have been in the game for nearly 10 years, no, over 10 years now. Bathrooms and boilers are our speciality.
And I'm Samson Shaw, I'm from Essential Plumbing and Heating, and we're based down in Surrey. We've been going 3 years this week, looking to grow. Obviously met these guys on Trade Mastermind, and now we're on the podcast with Stu.
Brill. So that's the hard bit done with. So today we're going to be talking about a few different topics. Again, as normal, totally unscripted, off the cuff. The conversation will go where the conversation goes. If there's any long pauses or hesitations, please don't turn off. It's just us trying to think of something to say. So
We need to tone it down from the conversation we were having before.
yeah, we turn it down from before we started.
Down a little bit.
So we might get back into that before as the day goes on and people get a bit more confident. We'll see what happens. But to top it all off, we're going to start with travelling. So
We've all had a few issues, haven't we, today?
We've got a few issues with it today.
Issues. It's been a perfect drive all the way here.
So we've all travelled a fair few hours to get here today for this episode. So mine one was fairly simple, really. As I'm driving on the motorway, I tend to zone out a bit, and my brain goes into overdrive. And I drove past my junction. I was supposed to go off, so I had to do about a 5 or 6 mile detour to get back where I needed to do. I then gladly found out that I wasn't the only one that done that this morning.
Yeah, what's that?
Scott beat me. He did, was it 2 junctions?
2 junctions, yeah.
2 junctions.
I ended up going 2 junctions past, ended up getting to road opened up and loads of road work. Like, I don't come this far. Let's do a quick Yui. I thought I'm going to be late, so I'm towing it 100 miles an hour.
70, you did 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Just under. Perfect driving it was.
And I think Sam just got here.
I think I'm the only one who's had a good drive.
He's had a good drive down here.
I've had a great drive.
And
I think I had the shortest journey. I know you had the shortest journey.
yeah.
It was an hour.
An hour and a half, 83 mile it is.
Yeah.
So.
So I've had the longest then.
Mine was 2.5. No, it was 3, and then it come down to 2.5. Steady drive, cruising, cruise control on, bit of
miles
music
an hour.
on. 73.
73.
73
Just
average.
under the speed.
The speed cameras don't get you then.
Yeah, they don't.
You're still within the crossover limit, are you?
Slap on the back of the hand.
I was double checking the speed cameras, but there was no flashes. So.
That's the best thing about A1. Up until about 10 mile before Peter, there's no speed. Well, there's one, but it's on the other side, so you can straight down.
So we've all had a little bit of experience, and Terry's keeping it to himself, but I've got to tell you anyway.
I don't know if I should share this.
Because people, up in Blackpool are, they're out there. They're out there a little bit, and
What are you talking about? Blackpool, I won't hear this nonsense.
he decided to get attacked by a cyclist.
No, he ran us. But
I don't think she likes living. So.
I think she turned down a boiler quote. Me, he recognised her.
Yeah, like there she is. There she is.
Bonnet badge, bitch.
So I set off literally a minute into my drive, and I was just overtaking a cyclist, as you do, very safely. Obviously, a door's width apart, as you should do in the highway code.
Absolutely.
Overtaking.
You should be in the other lane.
A metre and a half. My doors are quite
They've
long.
got just as much right.
He's got a big car.
They've got just as much right to be there, even though they don't pay any taxes to be there. But
I should have said that to her.
You said no politics.
just as much right as everybody else.
Never mind Trump. Vote for Scott.
Get his hat out in a minute.
Ban all cyclists and cycle lanes.
There was no cycle lane. She was just I'm overtaking her, and she's got headphones on, so she doesn't hear what's going on. She's not looked and just literally just turned into my car, if I didn't swerve, it would have been the front, but she hit the side. And I looked in the mirror and she was just all over the floor, bouncing. So I've pulled up, I hit the curb on the other side of the road.
It's not funny at all,
It's not funny. It's funny because she's all right. Just so you all know, she is fine. Until I hit her with a bill for the car, because she has put a massive dent right down the front.
And a big black mark.
Knocked the mirror off, big block. Big
Well,
mark.
I think personally the mark was there before because, to be fair, Terry's
It's
the type
funny
of...
because I've got a dent on the back as well that wasn't there before.
Well, I
Now it's
think,
there.
Terry's the type of bloke that...
I think a bike must have bounced and hit the back of the car as well. And the aircon's a bit dodgy now as well. I don't know why.
Does didn't match a cycle helmet?
It looks like a racing stripe. I might keep it.
I was going to say it's a go faster stripe, isn't it? That's what it is. You need one on the other side now to match.
She's fine. She's all right. I got out. She was shook up. I was more shook up, to be fair. I thought I killed someone. And I just said, did you have your headphones on? And she's literally still got them blaring on a bike helmet. And she was just like, it's my fault.
That's
sorry.
the only problem, innit? Cyclists with headphones.
She had a shock. She had a shock.
Yeah.
So are these electric cars though? Because you don't hear them coming either,
Silent assassins, isn't they?
Well, people who are deaf, they can't hear them coming across the road, can
No.
they?
No.
Yeah, very, very unlucky.
But have you
You're
ever...
deaf and blind should be buggered because you're getting struck by an
She
electric.
shouldn't be on a bike,
Shit
should
anyway,
she?
innit?
Just like with a white stick in front of her as she's riding a bike around Blackpool.
That sounds like a Top Gear challenge, that does.
It sounds like a normal cyclist in Blackpool, to be fair. But no, she's fine. Yeah, she's all right. I'm fine. She's fine. Everybody's fine. I made it here.
We've had, I say, because I've seen the same type with people and phones, walking with the phones out.
Yeah.
And just walk straight off the pavement into the road.
I've nearly had loads of school kids like that because they can't even walk to school without staring at the screen, can they?
Yeah. But no, you've got to keep your eyes in the back of your head, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, just as well, you got your dash cam.
Cam footage. So she was lovely. She was saying, "Look, I'll pay you for the damages." And I was like, "Look, it's not that bad. I'll probably just go and get a quote and it'd be fine." I was just more worried about if she was okay. She was quite shook up.
Liar.
I was like, "How much is this going to cost?" But no, she's fine. She was really shook up. I've just texted her. I got a number of details and stuff. I just texted to see if she was all right. She's not texted me back, so hopefully she's all right.
She's gave you the wrong number.
Still conscious.
It's like another date again, isn't it? Give you the wrong number.
Oh God, yeah. But she's she's fine. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep my eye out a bit more for cyclists now. But you don't expect that, Someone's just turn in front of you like that. It's all funny now. She's all right, but if she wasn't all right, it would have been a different day.
Would have been a massively different.
Would have been a
Wouldn't
guest
be
down, wouldn't
Wouldn't be here talking about it.
In Blackpool, the cyclists probably ain't that bad. You go to London, you drive through London, then that's when you start talking. In like a morning, like driving up there, it's a nightmare. And like the mopeds, they're even worse.
Yeah.
Because they're like whizzing in and
This is
out.
why-
Like you
No,
don't
all
see it.
Deliveroo guys and that, innit?
The dash cam footage is so important. Like I've had a dash cam for 7-8 years, something like that.
Never had
Buy them with the Baxi points, it's free stuff in it. So dash cam. All vehicles have them, and that's the only time I've needed it. Because now, if she changes her mind and goes, actually no, I might claim on this, or she might turn to that side. You don't know what people are going to do you? So that's dash cams are so important. I took some photos. She was just shook up, so I took some photos of her bike, the damage on my car, a photo of her, so I knew what she looked like in case she did give me the false information. But yeah, the dash cam footage says it all. You can see her just swerve straight into me, but that would have been my word against hers. So it does go that way. Yeah. At least I've got that footage. I'm so glad I've got that camera.
I had a problem a few years ago with the van. And obviously with the van, you haven't got the mirror, so you can see out the back windows. And there was cars on one side, and the cars had to come up. And I was sitting there, and this woman wouldn't reverse, so I've ended up reversing back. And a motorbike sat behind my van. But obviously, I've looked in my mirrors, can't see anything. I've reversed back, I've hit him. And I thought, I've just hit a pothole or something like that. So I've gone up a little bit, and the back of the van's come up. And I was like, what's that?
You're on his
got
leg.
out, this whole gets underneath my bloody van. You're right, mate, what are you doing down there?
Oh my God.
But yeah, but I got done for that.
Yeah.
I got done for that.
Yeah.
But I appealed it and said no. It's
He didn't
unfair.
leave. Yeah, he's supposed
It's
to
unfair
leave.
because and he said, oh well, that I had a witness to even say that he was right behind my van.
You should have
through.
unbolted your catalytic converter and just said he was trying to nick your cat off your van.
Yeah, an old man. The funny thing was, he was taking that bike to trade it in to get a new one, and I ripped it clean off.
Well, you needed a new one then.
Yeah.
You got one out of you, but by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
But no, because have you ever seen there's that clip with the dash cam stuff with the 2 kids on the council estate?
And
the bike. And the woman just going slow, and the one kid's recording on the corner, and the other kid comes up, then he walks in front, chucks his bike in, and then runs and jumps on the bonnet.
Yeah. But she's got dash cams.
Dash cams,
so.
yeah. They're only 25 quid, 30 quid, aren't
Yeah.
they? Well worth having. Fabulous.
But I'm sure some insurances used to say that you used to have it, if you used to be with our insurance, you had to have a dash cam.
Yeah, well, it helps, doesn't it? Because it helps the claims. If someone slams on in front of you and you go into the back of them, it's always your fault if you've hit them. But if there's they probably still would say, wouldn't they, that it's your fault.
Yeah,
Slammed on in front of you, you're probably not going to react.
I had that in the van. If I had dash cam footage, I would have got away with it. But
brake testing, innit?
Brake testing.
Brake testing.
She overtook me and then let a car out, and I was in the van. It's heavy. Like, you ain't gonna stop quickly.
You can't stop. Or your
and
tools hit in the
I
back
skidded, and ABS kicked in, and I literally just tapped her, and she literally done me for 17 grand.
Yeah.
She counted for 3 counts of personal injury, even though everyone and there was only 2 people in the car.
I once had that.
They're not honest people.
I
was about 18, and I had the same woman at roundabout gone to set off. She's like half a car length set off, and then braked because she'd not checked. And I'm looking at roundabout, and I roll forward. Literally, the screw on my number plate put a little dint in a bumper. She was saying whiplash and all that.
Yeah. Well, I know I had a friend years ago, and he told me this, and I can't remember if it was him or another member of his family now had been in an accident, and he basically went, oh yeah, the insurance company's paying out, and he started phoning around. He phoned his dad and his brother, I think it was.
Got
they
more
said, "Oh, quick, get in."
I was in the car.
And then they went, "Oh yeah, we was in the car. We got whiplash, And he wrote them both a check for $2,000 each.
Yeah, but it's minimum 1,500 quid though.
Yeah.
Minimum. So if the claim goes through, it's minimum 1,500 quid.
Really?
Yeah. And that's why people scam it, because it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
A few years back, in reminded me now, I bumped into the back of someone. So another cyclist actually went in front of the car.
Got a thing for money.
Having a chain.
Went in front of the car in front of me. He slammed on, and then I slowed down. I had loads of time to stop. Crack. So there was a hairline crack in his bumper. I told him I'd pay for it.
I don't like hairy crack.
4 weeks later, I get a letter saying he's going to claim. I had his phone number, so I rang him up. I was like, "You said you wasn't going to claim." I said I'd pay for it. So, back then, 15 years ago, 200 quid to spray a bumper on a Mark IV Astra, and he's just gone for everything. Whiplash the lot. His missus went for whiplash. He went for whiplash. I think it was about 18 grand or something like that. Yeah, I remember it being like a lot. And then that was my insurance was screwed, because it just bumps it up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About 6 months later, I was in Asda, and I bumped it. I hope they're going to see this, because I bumped into his missus, and she crashed a trolley into mine by accident. And I was like, "Careful, love!" I nearly put a claim in then.
I
bumped into her in Asda, and she just pushed a trolley into mine by accident, and she turned around and went, "Oh, sorry," and looked up, and it was me. And I was like, "Oh, careful, love."
Yeah.
I put a claim in. But this is the thing, they're not honest people. They were absolutely fine.
No.
They just look for the money.
Yeah.
The thing is, they don't think of it, what the other effect is. Like, I think my insurance went up from that 17 grand one was probably about, well, I was young, so it was probably about £110 a month. I think next year I was paying $250 a month.
Yeah, more than doubled.
But they don't mind.
No.
They've had
Oh, they got an holiday out. They got a nice holiday or whatever out in it, didn't they?
She said to me that the person she had a crash with last time had no insurance and drove off. So now she just absolutely stung me for her.
Yeah,
last
trying to get double.
Yeah.
Because you know claims, don't you?
Yeah.
But no, they're always out to try and get you for something, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
got hit and run at the beginning of this year.
Is you?
Yeah.
Do you want a bank?
No, mate, no.
What time is it?
Was it me? Was it a white
I think it was, No, coming up, it goes from 2 lanes to 1. I'm driving up, and some lunatic in a little Corsa, a little 1 litre Corsa, come flying up and just scrape straight down the side of me, mate.
Never.
Absolutely fuming. 6 years, no claims, gone straight out at window. My premiums went from £1,000 to 2,200 quid year after.
That's
and,
cheap.
and it's still taking me. It's like nearly a year later, and I guarantee I'll still be paying more next year. Do you know what I mean? So it'll take maybe 3 years just to get back to where I was. And yeah, just for somebody hitting and
Well,
running.
it sits on your insurance for 3 years. Well,
Yeah.
some's 3 years, some's 5 years, because we've just done our fleet insurance. That's it.
Yeah, I can
Mate,
imagine.
I'm paying £900 a month for 4 vehicles.
Wow.
That's all right. That's not bad.
That's expensive.
I'm getting bent over. I need to speak to my guy, don't I?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've got.
Well, this was in the chat, wasn't it? This
2
came up in the
vehicles
chat
on
the other day.
Thing, and yeah, so I'll have to. I don't know what I'm paying actually. I never really look. I'm sure it's less.
So I've got 2 vans, a truck, and a
It's
bit
over
of
200 quid a van per month, isn't it?
Well, I
900 quid a month.
Yeah, 900.
Oh
quid a
right,
month.
I thought you said a year.
No,
I was like, Jesus, that's
no,
amazing.
11 grand a year
11 grand a year
Yeah.
for 4 vehicles.
for 4 vehicles.
Okay.
But because we've just started fleet
Is-
insurance,
Does that include your breakdown cover and like tool policy, or is that just, or is that?
quid for the year? So that's not too bad. But that actually covers the tools on site as well. So if you're working on a site,
Yeah.
you have a lock box, locked up and everything. They'll if your tools get nicked out of that, you can claim on insurance as well.
That's all
That
right.
does sound quite a bit of money, though, mate.
Yeah, but it's because the youngest driver's 23.
Oh yeah, you have to go over 25.
That's why.
Don't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
25.
Yeah. For me,
Over 200 quid a van per month's a lot of money, that isn't it?
Seems a
no,
lot.
but I've been. I had my apprentice.
Fuck
He-
apprentices.
We're not there yet. Calm down. We're all right.
Yeah.
That's later.
No, our assurance bill for him on the van for 1 month each month was £290,
Fucking hell.
and my insurance is higher because I got 3 points last year.
I got 3 coming back from Peterborough after
Did you?
after
Not graduation.
after black tie. Yeah.
That night.
50 and a 40.
Actually,
50
after graduation as well.
53 mile an hour in a 40, but it reduced down. Yeah, some roadworks going off.
I remember
Everywhere now, isn't
a
it?
few years, like 4 years ago, I remember going through the Dartford Tunnel.
Yeah.
And I was saying to my mate that I don't ever speed in it, and I must have been speeding. I've done 75 in a 50, and they gave me speed awareness calls. What a touch!
I have
That's lucky.
never
innit?
been off. I've never once been offered speed awareness.
Have you not?
Done
No.
a few times.
I've got
I'm
no
due it
point.
soon.
I've got no points at the minute, and then they've just sent me this. So I'm going to see if I can ask for it or something, because I've never been given it, never been offered it.
No.
No.
So yeah, I only ever had one, and that was like about 2
fact,
years after I started.
They ain't
driving.
had, yeah, but when you was younger, probably didn't have speed cameras, did you?
Not on the side of the road. They weren't, mate. It was a copper hiding in an edge. That got
Yeah, they
me.
used to hide in bushes.
But they
and
still
trees.
do that though. They still do that though. Down my way,
Yeah.
they still do that. Or like the
Took the sends in behind a tree or something.
On, is it?
the neighbourhood watch sitting
Buggers,
there
isn't they?
on a bend of a corner behind a tree.
Yeah. No, they're terrible. They are terrible. So we've had to shoot that one out.
I think
Yeah.
we could
We'll,
go for
we'll
hours
go
on
on. So
Yeah.
let's have a see how everybody started and how on earth did we become these stupid people?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Full of anxiety
stupid
because we're
people.
spending a fortune.
Stupid
every
busy.
month.
Don't be
Yeah.
horrible about yourself, Stu.
So
I know, mate. Skinned,
Don't be horrible.
broke people.
I mean, my desire to set up for myself was I've got a 5-year-old son now, and I missed like the first 6 months of his life through working for subbing into other companies, working away here, there, and everywhere, a week at a time. And seeing my newborn son 2 days a week, do you know what I mean? Missing more than half his first 6 months of his life when he went to build a bond. And I just had enough. And then so I stopped working away and started working at home. Then you'd get divvy gaffers not ringing you till Sunday afternoon. I've got no for you this week, mate. You know what I mean? Rather than ringing you on a Friday so you can go and ring round and get some work for the week. I'd had enough, and I just thought, sod it, and it was start COVID. And I thought, sod it, I'm just going to go for it. Bought my own van, topped up on extra tools and what have you, and I just started it in Facebook, advertising and what have you, and before you knew it, I was 2 year in doing 30 plus bathrooms a year. That's how it started, really.
Was it as scary as you thought it was going to be?
No, because it was more out of
you did it.
necessity. No, because it was more out of a necessity of doing it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like if I were just to sit back and think, right, I'm just going to go and do it, it were more I had to do it or
Isn't it
carry on
amazing
being
how-
unhappy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's amazing how much motivation that gives you when you're
Oh
desperate.
yeah, definitely,
See,
definitely.
most people, it's the pressure that creates diamonds analogy, isn't it?
Yeah,
So it's-
yeah.
when you're under pressure, you've got no choice. You know, you have to craft.
Well, I've got ADHD. I work best under pressure. And
Yeah,
when
100%.
when my back's to the wall and shit's about to hit fan,
Get stuff done.
that's when my brain slows down and comes up with solutions pretty quick.
But
You know what I mean?
everyone talks about like that leap of faith, don't they? And like how like daunting and stuff like that is. And like I feel like when like I talk to like my friends or like people we know and stuff like that, I was like, it's not actually that bad. And like when you do actually get it going at the beginning, yeah, it might be a little bit tough for the first year, but once you actually get that consistent work coming in,
You're
you
amazed.
find out. I remember our first year, I was just like, it's coming in like nothing. Like,
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect it to come in. You think you'd be chasing and chasing.
Yeah,
and chasing
yeah,
all
and
the
it weren't.
time,
It were
and you
people
don't.
chasing you.
Yeah,
It's easier than you think.
Yeah.
And I feel like I wasted my whole 20s in
Yeah.
a job, well, up to like the age of 28, thinking that I could never. I always wanted to work for myself. I didn't want to answer to people. I didn't want to have 28 days a year and go on holiday when they told me to.
Yeah.
I wanted to have Christmas off. I used to work in cafe as a chef. I was while I was in college doing stuff, and it was just the hours were terrible. But yeah, it's that thing, isn't it? Of like once you commit to doing it, it's amazing what you can do. You don't understand what you're capable of. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to put yourself in a
go.
situation,
I'm
aren't you?
done.
It's
Yeah.
like joint trade mastermind, spending all that money and then you've got every month being held accountable by Paul and whatever. It gives you that kick up arse to say, right, well, I've got to do it now. I've just
Make
spent
yourself feel uncomfortable.
just spent nearly 20 grand and I've got somebody every month asking me, well, how's it, do you know what I mean, holding you accountable for things. I think that's why I joined one-to-one with Paul, you know, because
Yeah.
That's what I've done.
I know now every month Paul's going to be like, right, you paid for it. Yeah,
Whipping you.
have you done them
Yeah, yeah.
spreadsheets?
But you know what? Like at the end of the day, like they talk about in like the training, like we've gone from being heating engineers, plumbers, bathroom fitters, whatever. Now you're going into the business thing, and it's like you're going back to college.
Yeah, yeah, you're
And
learning a
back
whole new
learning.
skill
You
set.
have to do it that
And
way.
everyone could have been in business for however long, but the little things they go down to, like the
Yeah.
bits that we're missing, and like everyone knows like what it is.
Yeah.
And, like it changes it massively.
Of course
and
it
to
does.
have the one-to-one, like
Basically have your hand held, and it's the accountability I think that's with me, you know, because I know each
Yeah, but
month.
it's just to you though. It's
Yeah.
like it's all good like being in the classroom and it's great and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But when you've just got you or you,
Yeah, it's
You-
your business he's looking
it's
at for
just
that
you.
full
Well,
day.
you got
yeah.
nowhere to hide, have you?
yeah,
No.
and they go into your company and they absolutely structure it down to a T. So anything you're missing or you're mispricing stuff
Yeah.
or your finance is wrong or anything like that's where they kill it.
Well,
Yeah.
it's education doesn't stop at school, and that's where most people at school teaches you how to get a job,
Yeah.
and then you go
College
to college
taught-
and learn
yeah.
how to get a job, and it's kind of like it felt like for me anyway. In particular, I was like, I'm not gonna get to a point in my life where I want to be doing this. I don't want to be in a job. I don't want to be accountable to somebody else and that kind of thing. When you're talking about you have to go through being in a job, it's the cash flow quadrant. It's like that's the book that saved my life. I was driving trucks, 13 years ago, and it was just I rang a pal of mine and he said, "You don't sound good, mate. You sound depressed." I'm like, "Mate, I'm on the motorway 60 hours a week. It's miserable." And he's like, "I'll send you some books." And he sent me a load of old school Brian Tracy stuff, Robert Kiyosaki, and that was just a university for me. And in sort of, I think it was maybe a few months, I walked out of my job with 400 quid in the bank because these books just give me so much motivation. I was like, I can do this, you know, doing techniques like we were doing a bit earlier.
Yeah.
They are a bit crazy. Some of them Americanized, and it's all about sort of high-fiving each other and all that kind of stuff. But that's what got me out of working for someone. And in the first week when I quit my job, I earned more money just doing. I just went to handyman. I didn't know what I was going to do, so I couldn't fit a washing machine or anything. So I started fitting cat flaps, cleaning gutters. I sold my car. I had a jet ski at the time. I sold that. I just went right. I've got money to keep me going, and I just jumped in, and I earned more money in that first week than I would have done in the whole week working 60 hours, and I probably only worked half that, just doing little jobs for people. Facebook page,
Yeah.
you know, I'm doing this, anybody need a washing machine moving? I've got a little 600 quid van, and I just started like that, and then it just sort of snowballed from there. Plumbing sort of took over. My friend gave me an opportunity, George, thanks mate. He gave me an opportunity, and I learned plumbing within 9 months. I was going from not fitting a washing machine to fitting boilers. within 9 months. And you think it's a college course for 5 years, don't you? And
That's
I was,
what I've done.
I was at the point where I
It
could
does,
fit boilers.
it
That
does
was
when you're
all
at
I did.
16 and you're leaving school. I think you're not in
that's what they
mentality.
tell you.
You haven't got the mentality to do it in 9 months. I don't think at 16. I
No,
don't
well,
think
it
you're
was that
mature enough.
desperateness as well, wasn't it?
I do think at 16-year-old, how many apprentices again? How many apprentices? You're not going to chuck them on a boiler at first year, are you?
No.
Because they're young.
To be
and
fair,
they haven't got the mental
I picked it
capacity.
up.
The only place I'd chuck him is out the van.
Yeah,
As I'm
at 60.
driving. At 60.
Tuck and roll, bitch.
I picked it up quite quickly. So I started when I was 16, and I was probably installing boilers by 17.
Yeah.
18,
Yeah,
18,
some lads just
18,
cut out for it, aren't
18, I was by myself, own
Yeah.
van,
Yeah.
but installing boilers.
But it's not. That's not everybody, is it? You know what I mean? Like I said,
I had an
some
apprentice.
apprentices are just not worth
Yeah.
the time of day, are they?
I've had some apprentices that are fabulous. Most of them haven't been fabulous. Tom, top lad, he was one of my best apprentices. Alfie I've got now, one of my best apprentices. It's just that motivation that you can see in them. There's some little spark in them where they're like, I want what you're doing, and you're going to show me how to get it. They're just basically just taking a mentor. You're their mentor. So it's like, if you want to be a gas engineer, I'll show you the way. My problem is I give too much away, and then they end up starting a business and competing with me, which
Yeah,
I've done
well,
a few times.
well, to be
But
fair,
I don't mind. We all work together. I'm
That's
still
one of the
friends with
biggest
them all.
reasons that a lot of companies won't take on apprentices,
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause they think
because they're thinking.
But you've got to get a
Yeah.
contract in place, and that
Yeah.
final year when they're getting the gas, you've got to set in the contract that year. Then, once you're qualified with your gas at the end of this year,
Work for
you've got to give me 4 years. But there's ways around that. All they've got to do is get themselves sacked, not turn in. How long are you going to keep paying them a wage for if
Yeah,
they're not
yeah.
turning in and things? Do you know what I mean?
But when you're an apprentice and you start under the age of 16, you ain't got to pay for it though. I never
No.
had to pay for my gas. My boss never paid for it.
No.
So you can't have that contract in there.
You can, because you're putting the time and effort into training
Yeah.
them. You can't just go to college and get it for free and not be
Well, you
trained.
train them to work for you. That's the point. Of
So
the
if you're
apprentices,
putting all, you've got to think them first year or two in apprentice, it's actually slowing you down in a lot of ways, because you've got to teach them and slow down and stop, show them. So
off the phone.
you're putting a lot of time and effort into them. So at that point, you're going to want something back. You put all that money into it, and you probably give them a van back time they're doing the gassing for you. You probably give them a load of tools. You should have probably looked after them as well. So in my eyes, they owe you for them 4 years.
I think it goes back down to the money thing though. Like I remember when I was an apprentice and I was literally boiler bashing by myself every day for £100 a day.
£100 a day.
£100
My
a
first
day.
apprentice was on 30 quid a day.
Yeah, but I was by myself. No, but I
Oh,
was.
it's to do with paying you extra.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I was.
You've
like
got to look after them.
£100
You've
a
definitely
day
got to look after
by
them.
myself, installing boilers by myself
That's rough.
every single
Yeah,
day.
that's rough.
And then I got someone offered me a job, extra £6 a day, so up to 160, self-employed, and then he didn't pay me.
So you've done this from college then?
Yeah, so I started. So my journey was. So I started at 16, 2 weeks out of after prom. So started my apprenticeship, 4-year apprenticeship, pushed into 5 because of COVID. But I was with my boss, which he was brilliant. He like the way he taught me and the way like everything was dealt and learnt was very good, and that's probably why I picked it up quickly
Yeah.
as well. And then 20 was doing the £100 boilers every day by myself, and I was just like, I'm earning so much money for this company, and I'm literally not getting anything back, half a pay rise.
Yeah, they didn't
permanent
value. They
down.
didn't value the.
Yeah,
You'd have thought at least if you're going to fit in a boiler every single day, at that age, £200 a day, £250 a day,
Yeah.
and you'd have probably stayed then, wouldn't you? You'd
Yeah,
probably,
100%. And then I went self-employed, worked for someone. First 3 months was dandy, then stopped paying me, like everyone. So I literally left, set my own company up at 21.
Well done.
And
Fantastic, isn't it? Yeah.
just having balls to do it at 21 as well.
Linked to all his customers because I was running all sites.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
running all sites, and they left. They was like, "Oh, where you gone?" I said, "No, mate, he's not paying me. I'm not having it." Like, set my company up, and then 3 years later, now we've got where it was 5 of us, we're back down to 3, but it's more profitable. We've got 2 vans on the road. I've just bought a truck to try and get off the tools. So
No,
yeah,
you bought the truck to get off the tools, not
Yeah.
to try. Yeah.
yeah.
doesn't-
I've got to work at it.
It is a nice truck. I'll give you that. It is a nice truck.
She's a dream. But she's so expensive to run though.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Like just coming up here, 100 miles, I'm using over a quarter of a tank.
That's all right. That's
Yeah, it does 24 to the gallon.
Is that all?
Yeah.
I've got an E-Class Merc AMG, and it's doing
yeah.
64.5 miles to gallon if I put it in cruise control.
Really?
Yeah, I put it in eco.
really?
I put it in eco mode and just stick it at 65, 70 on cruise control. It'll do 62.5 miles to gallon.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
That's really good.
That's good, isn't it?
My Golf I used to do 18.
But then you put it in Sports Plus mode, and
Yeah,
it tightens everything up, and it'll do 150s, 160s.
And,
And then you can watch Needle go down.
you literally watch it like the rev car.
Yeah.
The worst car I ever had was an Evo 8, and it was about 6 to the gallon if you caned
Wow.
it. If you drove it hard.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if I drive
you
the
wouldn't
Golf,
get less than
Yeah.
50. You wouldn't
if
get more
I
than
drive
50.
the Golf, he's going down 4 to 6.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
And I swear 90% of the fuel was just coming out the exhaust.
Yeah, just
pumping it
just
out.
bypass the
Inflamed.
engine, just straight out
Oh, it
the
was
end.
cool when I was
Straight
driving
pipe,
it.
Straight pipe all the way from the fuel tank.
When I was
Bit old for
about
that
23, I had a Suzuki Grand Vitara V6 petrol. It was an absolute machine. But doing about 90 miles, used about 70 quid worth of fuel.
Bloody hell.
Oh, it was greedy, but it was a machine.
Yeah.
V6 petrol 4x4. Big knobblies on it.
Why wouldn't it
why.
not have big
You
knobbles
lost
on
money
it?
to the
Of
gallon.
course it
Big
would,
knobbles,
yeah. I bet
Tearing
the ride
farmers'
was rough as well,
fields.
wasn't it?
Chuck it dogs out for airs.
Donny lads.
Tonic lads.
But old Yorkshire, get your whippet out.
You've got to pay for shit like that, you know. Bloody hell. Keep whipping.
What's your journey?
My journey's
Started many moons ago.
my journey started. I come in on the Ark with Noah, and
100 years ago.
Back when
100
Jesus
years
was
ago.
a lad.
65.
no, my journey's nothing special really. I always knew I was going to work for myself one way or another. Knew from that's probably about the only thing I did know when I left school. That I knew I'd work for myself.
See, when I left school, I didn't even think about stuff like that, and it just happened.
I
Well,
knew I
I-
wanted to be a plumber.
I suppose the thing
It
is,
just happened.
I suppose the thing is for me, my dad worked for himself. My mum worked for herself.
Yeah.
So it was probably already sort of
Yeah,
subconsciously in there.
Is it quite rural as well where you're from? Or is it
Raw.
rural?
Yeah, we're quite,
So there's
reasonably
not
rural.
loads of opportunities about to...
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I grew up in a little town with not a lot about. There was nothing to do for kids at the time. Well, still nothing to do for kids. It's more of a retirement town,
Yeah.
So I moved out at 21. I'd moved out. I moved over to Hereford, which is the sort of the city. And in the schemes of cities, it's quite a small city,
Yeah.
but there's a bit more opportunity and a bit more going on over
Yeah.
there. And sort of just progressed from there, really. I went into the motor trade originally. I was in the motor trade for 11 or 12.
Fixing or selling?
Fixing, on the tools again. Did that for about 11, 12 years.
What motorsport was it?
No, not into motorsport.
Oh,
Just
a
fixed,
mechanic.
just mechanicking. Yeah. I did do
Quick fix Joe.
I did do a bit of motorsport. Did a bit of road rallying.
Did you?
Yeah, it didn't go very well, mate. I wrote a few cars off.
Did ya?
Yeah,
Bloody
Put-
cyclists.
Put one on the roof.
They're everywhere, aren't they?
I know, bloody cyclists.
I've got a sub-wheel that's stock car racing.
Oh, yeah.
He invites me to go quite often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's as a young lad, it's you got to do something to sort of get the
Adrenaline pump.
adrenaline pump, and that was the thing. A bit of road rallying and a bit of autograss racing back in the day.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Now I just do go karting.
You won't
It's
be
a
able
lot
to-
cheaper.
I like
I don't think
go-kart.
you'd be able to do like grass racing now,
Why is that?
because everyone gets too political. But
Yeah, oh, you're destroying the land. It grows back in 6 months, you fucking pudding. Have you tried, I'm talking about go-kart, have you tried the electric go-karts yet?
Yes.
No.
Are they all right?
Quick.
There's one
Well, I tried electric go karts probably 10 years ago.
about the
up
new
in,
ones
up in
now.
Birmingham. Weird sensation.
A lot of
Pretty
spin.
cool, but really weird because it's so
What, 'cause
quiet.
it's quiet.
Yeah, because the whole point of motor racing is you're a petrol head.
Yeah, you smell
You
the
can
petrol,
smell the petrol, the
two-stroke,
fumes,
yeah.
You
the
get the adrenaline,
noise.
the pump up when
Yeah,
you
you
go.
can
Yeah.
hear it,
Yeah.
don't you?
You know,
Popping and banging.
Yeah.
electric carts, they were really cool at the time.
It's that instant
But
acceleration,
it is,
innit?
but you still get the buzz when you get going. But but
Make your
it's
own
not
noises.
sort of the same.
Yeah, you don't get the nostalgic.
No.
Yeah.
But saying that, there's the new electric carts that have come out. I think there's a place
tractor
down
stopping
in
near me in Doncaster.
yeah. There's a there might be one. I can't think of the name, but it's an F1 based track,
Yeah.
and it looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely phenomenal.
I think they'd probably be a bit, going around corners, I imagine you can't put any extra, because instant power, you put a little bit on round a corner.
Yeah,
and
well,
you
I
spin it
don't know
out.
how they phase it. So there's got to be
Yeah.
something there. But yeah, electric carts are the new stuff is pretty cool. Like
I've got a
but
friend with
for
electric
me,
motorbike and
yeah.
that's a machine.
They're
Five and a
rapid though, they're-
five and a, not
they're
them
rapid.
Surons. This is a proper motorbike with electric motor in it. It costs about $5,500. It is rapid. About 0 to 60 in about 2 seconds, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Get 20 minutes from it.
No, you get a good couple of hours. Not bad, actually.
20 minutes.
20 minutes till you're dead, yeah.
20 minutes till you're dead.
Wrap round a tree or something.
or a Land Rover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Touchy subject.
No, I know.
Still fresh.
Still fresh. He says, and that scratch, isn't it? But yeah. But no, so yeah, fairly, nothing exciting for me really. But yeah,
How long have you been going now?
about 18 years.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
Have you got a good client base around your area then?
I've always had a good client base. I've got people that were with me that were from the beginning. I've had a lot of people die as well.
A lot of old people around your area.
There is.
Cyclist.
Cyclists.
Because they're cyclists. But yeah, no, because my clientele was quite an older generation. Probably 2 generations probably up from me. A lot of my clients were.
Corpses
corpses, yeah. yeah, corpses.
They're my favourite customers.
go to their
Not the
funeral?
corpses, but just before.
Some of them, yeah.
Why don't you set up a funeral direct?
Have you seen them? You want to see how many funeral directors are around by me?
keep
Bloody loads.
but keep fitting gas as well, and you can leave a couple of
Couple of leaflets.
one business feeding other and all
One
that.
side of the leaflet's boilers and the other side's the funeral director.
Hey,
That's the charity.
We don't bother fitting the carbon monoxide.
but I ain't got to worry about paying per lead, have I? It's all organic.
Yeah,
You've already set them up.
just
Yeah.
don't install carbon monoxide meters with
Yeah.
boilers.
As Joseph says, it's always the first sale that's the hardest.
Second's the easiest. They're,
Second
not,
one's
they're not
easiest.
alive to say no.
No. You leave that little pipe off.
Jesus. See, this is what we were saying at the beginning about not letting.
Not just doing a service plan. We're doing a funeral plan.
Buy one service, get the coffin for free.
Yeah. Buy one coffin, you get your second free.
Well, what about the warranty on the boiler? You won't need that, love.
2 years.
Making it pop
give you 2 years.
You're not making it fast.
This bad boy's got 10 years, you haven't.
Well, I'll do you a good deal on a coffin.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, that went off the
speaking of
topic a
customers.
little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So I suppose if we're on the coffins, I suppose anybody had a few customers they'd like to put in one.
Yes. I had one a couple of,
Handful.
I had one a couple of weeks ago. Subcontractor went and fitted us a boiler. Bit of an awkward fit because the original boiler were an heat only and it were in a normal kitchen cupboard. She wanted to change it to a combi. Obviously, a combi's a bigger boiler than heat only. So I said, look, we'll probably just squeeze it in, but it's going to be tight. I'm going to have to butcher the top of it and butcher the bottom, and you'll have to get it like underneath boxed in. Yeah, no worries. So it was a 2-man lift because one person had to be on the floor to get it up into the cupboard and then one above to try and drop it down onto the bracket. And subbies, he were on bottom and he's lifting the boiler up and trying to push it in, and his button on his trousers put 2 little dints on fascia at kitchen worktop.
Yeah.
Oh, she kicked off something rotten. I said, it's not a big thing. I said, I'll go Howden's down that road. I'll get a colour fill. And
Yeah.
no, I'm not your boy. I'm going to have a new kitchen. I said, no, you're not. Oh, mate,
Has she ever claimed for whiplash?
you will do if you
Sounds
come
like
across
one of
me
those.
again. But no,
You can't hit your customers.
but she was one of them customers that she'd come and give you a bollocking. I apologised. I even went out to the shop. I bought her a bottle of Prosecco and a bunch of flowers to apologise.
That's lovely.
Trying to be as nice as possible. Oh, every 20 minutes she'd go upstairs, think of something new to say, come down, rah, 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 rah. I took it for a day. Second day, she was still at it. Because no point in fixing it until you've finished full job, do you know what I mean? She's still at it. I took it for about 2 hours the next day, and I said to her, listen, carry on. I said, I'll tell you what point I'm at now. I said, I've tried to apologise. It's not something that happens all the time. I've tried to keep you sweet. I bought you some flowers and Prosecco. I said, you keep coming down and having a go at me for the same thing that I've apologised for. I said, I'm going to take the boiler off the wall. I won't charge you a penny, but I'm leaving with my boiler. I said, that's where I'm at now. She didn't come back.
Yeah, you need to.
She didn't come back down and have a go at me. I'm telling you now, I took it for a day and a half. And there's only so long you can be nice to somebody and apologise. And if you're not going to accept my apology, then don't. But don't.
You're trying to resolve the problem.
It cost me 28 quid for a tube of colour fill. Same as a thing. It took
Couldn't see it.
10 minutes to blend it in. Couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's not, if that was me, I wouldn't be. I'd be like, yeah, it's not the.
Got a bad trust pilot review.
But that's the 10%.
We've buried it already. We've buried it with we've got in touch with old customers, and just look, if you've had a positive experience with us, just leave us. He's buried it already.
I learned how to spot these customers very early on, which I'm so glad I did. So I don't really have that many stories of bad customers, but this one that springs to mind was as soon as I arrived, she started slagging off all the other people she's had round to her house, all the other engineers or construction people. And
so you know when you leave, she's going to do the same.
This is it. So, but that was a big sign there. So if you're ever doing quotes and someone starts doing that, you know there's a big red flag there. And I actually went round, did the job. And we were doing the job and it was fine, and she was like a bit of a watcher, so she'd come in and stand for an hour and have a chat. I don't mind, it's fine as long as it's not all day. And she's having a chat, but then she said one of the builders did some work for her and she's slagging this guy off, and I was like, oh yeah. And she's like, oh yeah, it's from this guy from FPR, and I'm like, FPR, that's my brother-in-law's building firm. So I'm like, okay, well yeah, go on, tell me all about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, it was this and that, and I was like, I couldn't really see what she was getting at. He'd done the job, he wanted paying, and that was that, and he'd done a good job of it, and I could see the job that he'd done. I think he'd fitted a door or something, I can't remember. And then she said, yeah, I was arguing over 25 quid or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, and wow. so he posted it through my door in copper.
Yeah, there's your 25 quid.
And I went back to my brother-in-law and I was like, did you put a big bag of pennies through someone's door? He went, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm working for her. He's like, mate, beware. And so I did the job, and yeah, we had stick off her. It was a year later though, because she had something wrong under a floor. It was nothing to do with us. And the guy had to get the shower panel off, the bath panel off. And she rang me and she's like, this guy can't get the bath panel off. You've screwed it too tight. And the guy's like complaining that the bath panel wouldn't come off. I'm like, well, just use a better screwdriver, perhaps. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I just managed to do that. But you get them, and you've got to figure out what are the red flags. As soon as you go for a quote, what are they showing us?
You
now?
do, but really they're not always. The cracks aren't always on show. Either the paper doesn't. You've got to
a bit more time.
An hour and a half survey. You don't really get somebody's true colours, because you can all put an act on for an hour and a half, can't we?
But that's only 10% though. Like 90%.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say 10%. I'd say it's more 2 to 3%. If.
Do you ever refuse to work for somebody though?
I have done, yeah.
What I tend to do is, I think most people do this, a bit of a...
Well, just put a massive price.
Yeah,
you put a bigger price on it. So if you don't really want the job, here's a bigger price.
I don't want to do it.
Hopefully don't hear from them. I heard from one of them once and got
but
the
then
job.
It's worth doing though then.
I gave them some discount at the end.
Money on it to deal with it.
Yeah, I gave them some discount because they turned out to be all right.
I went to Elite the other day, and the geezer, basically it was either coming out of 1 or 2 flats, and I've gone into this right-hand flat, and it smelled like a rat had died in there. No, it was awful, and he was like, basically, just check if the leak's in there, basically, it wasn't in there. And when I left, he said, can you have price to change my kitchen sink? And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing it because it stinks in there. Like, I was gagging. But
yeah, we've all been in houses like that.
Yeah.
And you know the programs on TV where they've got the hoarder ones and the pots and pans stacked all the way up to the ceiling. I'm not joking.
And
bottles of piss and newspapers.
They don't work. What are you doing in the daytime?
How much to swap my kitchen sink? And I've looked at it thinking there's a pots and pans. I said, yeah. Have you got the kitchen sink? He said, yeah. I said, well, you're looking about 600 quid, mate. I said, and I never heard anything of him because there was no way I was going back in there.
Yeah, I've been in a few like that, mate. They've been like that. More dangerous to go in.
Rentals, they don't care.
I went to one.
You have to hold your breath.
I went to one, bless her, a little old lady. massive house, must have been worth about £2 million. She'd had it from day one. Husband had died, bless her, but she had about 12 cats. All these cats were house cats. Litter trays here, there and everywhere, overflowing. There were like 4 bathrooms in this property, all with shower trays, and the shower trays had all been used as cat litter trays.
Nice.
The smell of ammonia when you walked into the house, how the lady wasn't ill and poorly, I don't know. And we ended up actually helping her out and ringing, she had no family, we ended up ringing social services to come and help her.
That's
And
really.
they
when it's
actually-
it's an old person.
She didn't want to move out the house, but what they did is they sent a firm in and made her get rid of all cats.
Yeah.
Couldn't look after them, which upset her. But they also cleaned all the house and got rid
Got
of
her
the
back
ammonia.
onto
Just
scratch again.
how she were breathing, how she weren't getting breathing difficulties. I
But
don't know.
an old day like that though, you can accept that. But when it's like a young couple,
Oh yeah, just laziness.
and they're sat there watching YouTube videos, and I've seen this a lot, you know, and it's like you've got to hold wipe your feet on the way out. It's that bad.
Yeah, I've had them.
I don't even know how they do it, and I have refused to go in one proper. I'm pretty good at it. I can hold it in.
Yeah.
I just go like, look, you know, 70 quid. I'm going to get this gas cert done, and I'll get it done. But when you're kneeling down at the front door and there's like feces, literally.
Yeah,
from
I've
the
walked out a
dogs.
few jobs
It's
before.
like when you take your shoes off to go back in, but you quickly pop back out.
Yeah,
to get your
it's
shoes
not
put back
glamorous.
on. Yeah.
It's not glamorous at all.
Yeah, well,
But you've got no excuse. Tidy your house. You know?
No, because I had one who's been on one of the other shows we've done to do with the cats, and that was one of the jobs I refused.
Yeah,
to
there's
do
nothing
because
worse
that
when
many-
when
that many
it's
cats
ammonia.
and
It
shit and
stings your eyes and
horrible.
Yeah.
well, that one I went
Really?
about.
Is it that bad?
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you not
ammonia
been in a
is
bad one?
terrible, mate.
Not with cats.
Yeah.
Cats
It
are
was
the
that bad.
worst.
Every time I breathed in, it was making me cough.
Get used to it, though.
She must have
20
been in.
minutes.
She must have been in at 8.
That can't be good for you.
No, it's
20 minutes in
terrible.
there,
Yeah, it's
you're
really,
all right.
really
Well,
bad.
ammonia will knock you out.
Yeah. How that lady, honestly, how
As
she
for an
was
elderly lady,
going
that
about,
can't be good.
how she was going about a daily business, I do not know. Honestly, I felt so sorry for her, and I went to next door neighbour, which is like it was about 300 yards to nearest neighbour's garden were huge, and I said, "Has she got any family or anything?" She looks like she's struggling, and they were like, "No, nobody's ever come to see her in all these years. We don't know of anything." I said, "Well, something needs to be done for her," and I explained it, and the lady next door said, "Listen, I'll ring social services," and I did my job and whatever I had to do, and just left it with them. But I do know I followed it up about a month later. I was in the area again. I knocked up neighbours. She says, "Oh, she went into an home for a little while just to assess her and everything while they cleaned all her house, and they helped her out and cleaned her house at least." But she were a bit eccentric, and that she were adamant she weren't leaving. It was bearskin rug on the floor and knight's armour on. It was
Sounds amazing.
Smart.
it was some gaff and that, and it'd just gone to rack and ruin. There were,
Yeah.
when you got wooden panelling, and she'd had a leak come through a soil pipe
Yeah.
just for years and years, just on, and all panelling were coming off at walls, and you could tell back in the day the house would have been some pad.
Yeah.
The thing is with like older people, they don't like bothering other people. So if there wasn't a problem,
they're too
like,
proud,
like
aren't
my
they?
grandma and grandpa,
Yeah.
they was exactly the same. Like if grandma had problems, she wouldn't say anything about it.
Yeah. My granddad's the
back
same.
when they were younger, like they wouldn't.
Well, you got to think that they all grew up.
Tough.
They all grew up through
Tough
war
generation.
and that, and there was no help. Everyone were busy on war effort, so they just
It's amazing.
get on with it and crack on, innit?
It's amazing what this generation. I think I was the last generation, so I was born in sort of '85. So we had no technology, then we had technology. So I'm kind of like the last generation.
Same, yeah.
so-
I'm 87.
and I
was
do
born.
sit there. I am guilty of scrolling my life away sometimes, you know, when it's been a long day or whatever. But when you watch these kids now, they've got no conversation in them for a start, no sort of imagination.
No experiences, no childhood experience.
Go out and fall out of a tree or something. That's what we were doing. We were falling out of trees.
I've got
Digging holes in
I've got a 16-year-old just started college a few weeks back, and I said to him, when I go talk to my mates now, when I talk to my mates now, who I went to school with and that, we can all reminisce and say, "Oh, can you remember that time when we went down to Quarry and we did this? Can you remember when we went down to River Don and we made a raft and we sailed?" What's he going to talk about? Can you remember when we got to level 28 on Devil May Cry? Do you know what I mean?
You know what? It's funny you say that, because obviously I remember like when I started school in secondary school in 2011. Like I had an iPhone.
I'd left school.
So old.
But like, but you talk.
You feel
about,
old.
Like, I remember as a kid, like I had an iPhone 3GS. Like that's going back.
Nokia 33,
Yeah.
3210 were
I
mine.
look back now, and my friends I was friends with, we didn't do that with the phones and the computer games and
It's
stuff
when
like
it's
that.
when you can watch videos and social media's done it. That's what keeps everybody busy now and staring at the phones. We
It's
had
your
we had
TikTok
text messages
scrolling.
and pictures. They were pretty basic, but that's all we had when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Text messages. I got my first phone when I was like 15, and it was a Motorola with a flashing aerial.
One that you pull up.
That's what we had.
We pulled
Aerial
up.
that you pull up.
it was can't remember the thing of it now, but you had 11 ringtones and phone calls and texts. That
And
was
Snake.
And
When
Snake.
you- yeah,
Snake
when
on
you
the
when you had
Nokias.
Nokia,
I think everybody had Snake, didn't they?
Yeah.
But that's it. Like I'm
mine's
so
sweet.
glad I've
Yeah,
experienced.
yeah, Minesweep,
I've
yeah.
experienced both sides of it. You know, I'm so glad I have because
Yeah.
we played out. That's what we did.
I were like in that last era where I didn't have a mobile phone till I was like 15 when they first started getting popular and that. So, and like computers, they were good, but it were alright for a rainy day or, do you know what I mean, when you were grounded, which were most of the time for me. But,
Mega Drive.
yeah, we
Master
were.
system.
I live out in countryside a bit, me, and there's quarries and woods
Yeah.
and
Go
fields
play out,
and
amazing.
rivers and
Yeah, well, for me, I didn't get a phone till I was 18, and that's when I bought
Probably didn't have
myself.
signal where you lived, did you?
what like Del Boys.
Yeah, like Dale Boys, yeah, wind it up. But yeah, you know, so I was 18 before I got a phone, and I bought that myself as an 18th present to myself, like. But otherwise, yeah, we had a computer. You know, went through the different various systems as they were at the stages. You know, like you just said, like the old Mega Drive, and then you know,
Ataris.
Atari
yeah,
ST,
the Commodore 64.
you know, the old Commodores.
Blow
and
it
all that.
discs.
Yeah, you know,
Never works.
You don't even know what we're on about.
you know that type of thing. Well, like,
used to
I
come
was
with,
just about to say, what are you even going on about?
they used to have cartridges.
What are you going about?
The games used to be either tapes, like a tape cassette, or
It
cartridges.
was like a square.
And when they weren't working,
you'd
you
blow,
used to take it out and blow down.
like a magic rub it was, mate. You know, when the coin don't go in the
Yeah.
machine, you give it a magic rub, and then it
And
works.
you couldn't save your
Well,
progress.
Or a footballer's magic sponge.
Yeah.
1 minute he's rolling about. And
You have to complete the whole game.
Oh, really?
So
Yeah,
we used to
save it.
pause the Master System and then get back to it the next day and unpause it and keep
yeah,
going.
you
going like-
couldn't leave where you left off. You'd have to start again.
If you turn it off, that's it. There's no save.
Yeah.
They never saved it. I think that was like PlayStations that brought that out.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
PS1s.
And you used to have cards that you saved them on, didn't you?
Yeah, memory card,
I
yeah.
remember when I was younger, you remember the Nintendo, and you used to have to put the rectangle things and slot them in?
Yeah, the cartridges, yeah. Nintendo
Yeah.
64s.
N64.
Yeah.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Game.
GoldenEye, yeah. What a
That
what a
was
game
like
that
the
was.
first computer games we ever played. That would have been, well, I was born in 2000, so that must have been.
I was playing that in
2006.
2000.
Well,
yeah.
Our fingering when in year 2000, our out fingering.
Yeah.
There he is again. We've lowered the tone again.
Lowered the tone.
Beaver's
He's
out.
Donny lads.
Bringing
Yeah, we
fingering
were all
back.
doing that. Yeah, we were all doing that. I was sat in, I was out pulling birds.
Told you, loads of cornfields around me,
Sat
mate.
Brilliant.
Get local pisshead to go in shop and get you a litre of White Lightning.
What movies were you watching then?
White Lightning. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Back end movies. Oh,
Dirty Dancing.
massive movie that I was. Well, I still am. Dirty Dancing. I've been all over that.
Yeah, I watched that the other day.
The Shining.
Reese,
The Shining's one of my
anything with
favourite
Shining.
films.
Anything with
The
Arnie
Shining.
Arnie.
All the,
anything with
Show
Arnie in.
films.
Yeah, anything with
Van
Arnie.
Damme.
Rambo.
Who's Arnie?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, legend. Did you watch his podcast?
Getting worried then.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Seen a
his
bit, yeah.
podcast. No, not his podcast. His series. Sorry,
He's,
on
yeah,
Netflix.
he's serious.
That's brilliant. That's a good
Yeah.
watch. That's a brilliant.
I'll have to have a
They're
look.
all, yeah, it's good. It's surprising though. I find with
He's much
this is why I sort of want to touch on the films really is how much it's changed. Because when we were on site and we were talking about it, and I got a couple of younger lads, 23, 24 type of thing, younger than me, and you talk about some of the stuff and it's
Straight over the
straight
head.
over the top. And like you said, you say something about an Arnie thing, you know, like, oh yeah, get to the chopper, you know, and all that type of stuff. And they're
They don't laugh at it.
huh?
Yeah. You feel
You
dead
go,
old, don't you? And stupid.
Have you never seen the film like Predator? What? Oh my God,
Oh.
go and watch it.
Predator.
What's your favourite Arnie film?
Favourite art?
Running Man for me.
The Running Man was good, wasn't it? Yeah.
I couldn't put it down to one. I'd be honest. I've probably watched all of them so many times.
It's the one where he goes to Mars.
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
That's another
Oh,
good
is that
one.
where
With
it's
Prozzy
at?
with 3 tits.
yeah. There's actually a woman that's done that, but that's something else. But Commando.
Commando, yeah,
I
terrible.
I watched Commando
Endless bullets.
100 times.
Yeah.
100
Just shooting
times.
forever. It was just endless bullets. You watch it. It's funny. Commando. His daughter
I
was
think
kidnapped.
I've watched it.
What's his
it's
worst
hilarious.
one for you? Conan for me.
Oh
Conan
no!
was one
See,
of my
I
favourite
see. As a young kid, I
didn't like
enjoyed
it.
Conan.
He was his henchist there as well, wasn't he?
I didn't like Conan. It was boring.
huge.
For me, I'd probably say one of his newer ones, something like Junior or something like that.
Yeah,
Not
kids
really,
one kind of thing.
You know.
Daddy Daycare, some crap like that.
Yeah,
That's a classic. Daddy
Daycare is brilliant
Mate,
with
that's
Eddie
a
Murphy.
classic. Yeah.
The thing I
That
liked
is
about
classic.
80s movies, when you see
No, I
something
was thinking
happen,
Kindergarten Cop. That's what
Kindergarten Cop, you're thinking of.
Kindergarten Cop, yeah, that's a good one. When you seen something happen in a movie, like an explosion, it was real.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
it's
They,
not
they did that.
CGI.
They actually
Yeah,
made that
yeah.
happen.
Well, yeah,
Cars getting tipped upside down,
Yeah.
and things going on. That's when you're watching it now. It's like it looks a bit rubbish because there's no CGI involved.
Yeah,
But
it's
it
all
is
health and
quality,
safety and
like-
all that.
Or when you look back at the old
People were like,
CGI now,
doing-
I think it's spoiled. You know what you used to, and then you look back at an old
Yeah,
film.
you look at
it spoils it, doesn't
doesn't
it?
Yeah.
When you look at films like The Matrix and the levels that they went to,
Yeah, at the time that was like
and then you see
Terminator
original
2.
Godzilla, and you can see wires and.
Yeah,
I think another one is like Jaws. Like the first Jaws against like the last one. And I remember when it was in that lake and it was coming and you can see it's like glitching, and then like the end Jaws is smooth.
Oh, that ruined so many kids. That film.
Childhood.
So
Even in
many
a
kids
swimming pool,
wouldn't get in the sea for that.
I couldn't get in a
Really?
swimming pool.
Not
Couldn't
after
get-
seeing
I
Jaws.
watched it when I was younger.
Seeing Jaws, no.
And Jaws just traumatised me. Even getting in the bath, I was worried.
There's always one film that ruins your childhood, isn't there? For me, it
Yeah.
were arachnophobia.
Was it?
Never liked spiders ever since that.
I didn't think that was too bad.
No, I never. Ever since then, now I've got a thing about spiders,
Yeah, the
especially
one,
when they're running.
there was two things that, as I remember as a kid. One is I don't remember about, and the other I do, but I only know the one because my mum, bless her, used to tell me. Was back in the day we used to have the Incredible Hulk, and we're talking the original Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
this
what
was
was
now.
his name? Him? Bodybuilder, wasn't he?
Well, you could see brush strokes at green paint. On
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, because he was one of Arnold's bodybuilding friends.
Yeah.
I can't remember his
Yeah.
name. Oh, no, I do apologise.
Lou Ferrigno.
That's it. And
Name.
soon as he
Louis Ferrigno.
Louis
I think.
Ferrigno,
Something
yeah.
like that, yeah.
And soon as he turned from being normal Banner to the Hulk, as a kid, that would scare the living crap out of me.
Yeah.
And apparently, I used to jump over the back of the sofa and hide behind until he changed.
Yeah.
Once he changed, apparently I was all right. But it's because they showed little bits of the change.
Yeah,
It used to
yeah.
freak me out.
Did you ever watch Ghost? The shadows that used to come and grab you.
Yeah, they come out.
I admitted to my parents because they were like, if you don't tell us lies that you've told us, then them ghosts are going to come and get you. I was terrified. And I told them that I'd smoked a cigarette. When I was about 12. I was like, yeah, I've smoked a cigarette. I was like in tears near enough when I was traumatised.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Good film, though.
Yeah, great.
For a
film,
acting film.
Yeah, still shitting myself now.
Yeah.
It's
Wurzel-
fabulous.
I don't. You wouldn't all recognise Wurzel Gummidge. You wouldn't have heard of that, I expect.
No, you're showing
Have
your
it.
You
age.
might have heard about it.
Yeah.
Well, Wurzel Gummidge used to be basically a kids program, and back in the day, and it was based on a scarecrow. Wurzel Gummidge was a scarecrow, and his girlfriend was Aunt Sally, who was a doll, and he was a scarecrow, but he come to life. But it was called the Beetroot Man as well. You know, all stuff.
Sounds like the
all
Wizard of
stuff that
Oz.
would really traumatise
Yeah.
the kids,
Sounds like
really.
Yeah,
what,
freaking
like the
kids
Tin
out.
Man and stuff like that.
But his head used to spin, you know, and it was just like used to freak me out. He used to be there, and he talked like, and then all of a sudden his head would go. You'd be like,
Another one that used to freak me out. What Kiddie Catcher off her Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, yeah.
Ice
yeah.
creams, lollipops,
Comes out
all
sweet
free
and stuff like
today.
that.
Didn't it teach you not to take ice creams and lollipops off people? You end up in a cage.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah, it worked. I think kids these days, like when we had to, if we wanted to watch a series or something, we'd have to wait for the next week, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
I
At
tried
least,
to explain this to
yeah.
my 10-year-old
Yeah.
daughter. I was like,
Yeah.
you've binged watched a series over a weekend.
But I only think that's recently though. I don't think.
Oh, the last
that-
5 or so years
Yeah,
that in
I think-
Netflix
I-
and
yeah.
Netflix has done
I
it
think even think
Yeah.
it's Netflix. I remember like Road Wars and stuff like that. You used to have to watch that weekly.
weekly.
I,
It's something to look forward
be
to, isn't
fair,
it?
Discovery
you just
Channel
binge
used to do it with Gold Rush and things like that. I always used to. I'd never watch it for the first month, like when it first came out, and then once it had been out, you'd got like 4 or 5 episodes then that you could watch.
It's like EastEnders and like stuff
Yeah.
like that, and it's like stuff you used to look forward to.
Well,
watching
yeah.
coming back.
But it shows you a bit of patience as well.
Yeah.
I think maybe some of the kids now, everything's just there on a plate straight
Yeah.
away. You can watch this now. You can have this downloaded now. You don't have to go to a library and look up information. It's just all there. And they're not patient enough. So when something happens in my daughter's life, when's my tea ready? I'm like 20 minutes. And 30 seconds later, when's tea ready again? You know, it's like there's no patience. And it's
That's just the way it's gone, isn't it?
yeah,
just
kind
the
of.
way
Yeah,
it
we've
is.
got everything at our fingertips, haven't
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I used to sit through like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
we? Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
tea.
Yeah.
So I knew when that started, tea was going to be
Yeah,
ready.
yeah. that
And
moment
we'd all
saying-
sit at the table, and the Fresh Prince of
And
Bel-Air
then
would be on the telly.
what were it then with Crystal Maze?
Crystal
Maze.
Maze twice a week.
Richard O'Brien.
Yeah.
Remember the Krypton Factor?
I used
Krypton
to,
Factor, yeah.
I used
yeah,
to love
yeah,
Crystal Maze, me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bald guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good, he was. Richard O'Brien.
Who took it over? They did like redid it.
Ed Tudor did a bit later, I think it was.
Yeah, they redid it
but,
about 5-6 years ago, didn't
Yeah,
they?
it's
Like,
come
they-
back a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's not really taking back off again, I don't think, as
No.
it used to be.
I used to love that as a kid.
But like, yeah, you know.
Simpsons, Fresh Prince, and
What was the
Crystal
one with
Maze.
Pat Sharp and the twins. What was that called?
Well, Pat Sharp did
Funhouse.
Funhouse,
Yeah,
yeah.
Funhouse.
That was the 90s TV, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Funhouse in the afternoon.
Yeah, no, that was good.
An Art
Funhouse.
Attack with Neil
Art Attack with
Buchanan.
Neil Buchanan.
Yeah,
Yeah, in Clayhead.
This is all news
Clay
to
head.
me because I've never heard any of these.
How old are you? I don't even.
24.
Oh yeah, you're a whippersnapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24.
Yeah, I think
The
Art
up
Attack
and
finished
coming,
before
I'd like to say.
2011.
The up and coming.
See,
Up
I,
and
I,
coming.
I'm gonna
I,
clean up. I'm gonna
Next
clean
gen.
bodies up, mate.
I always think I was just at the edge of
Can I have what we
where
need
the old
time?
stuff started and the new stuff started to come through.
I like the older
You know.
movies though, like Sound of Music and stuff like that.
Brokeback Mountain.
The Dirty Dancing and stuff like that. Like they're like old films I remember my mum used to watch when I was like a kid and stuff
Yeah,
like
you
that.
grew up watching them. don't you?
Nostalgia, you get a lot of
And
nostalgia
like
from
the
them, don't
music
you?
as well.
Same with
and stuff
music.
like
Yeah.
that, like jazz. Like,
I- well,
always
yeah.
love a bit, or like Madness. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know anyone.
Who
of
don't
my
look like
friends who
Madness?
listen to Madness.
I-
I can sit in that.
Tina
spot.
Turner, Phil Collins.
Yeah.
It was
but
either
when
one.
I was an apprentice, when you're working with older people, they should have gold radio on.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like over the years, when I was an apprentice, I just listened to it all the time.
Smooth radio is just banger after banger now, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what you get. That's
No,
how you know
see,
you're
I'm
getting
more,
old.
I'm more centre force. I don't even know if you have centre force up by you.
No.
History, I have on.
Nah, history is boring. It's same music every
History
time.
is the same repeat.
Yeah.
It's like
Up
history.
90s though, isn't it?
Have they just got a catalogue of like
Yeah, but they
25 tunes? and
replay
that's all
every
they're allowed to
single
play.
tune.
Like,
So
why
does
don't they add new
Capital
stuff
and
to it?
all the rest of them, all mainstream.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like
You listen to Capital-
Dance ain't like that though.
You listen to Capital in the morning until afternoon, you'll hear the same songs, every song about 4 times. Every time a new presenter
repeat.
comes on, they've got the same playlist. And there's a new presenter every 4 hours, isn't there, on radio, on Capital and that.
Playing the same songs.
What radio station would you listen to at work?
Absolute 90s. But that's the same again. It's like the odd Oasis track and the
Yeah.
same catalogue.
That's why I like gold.
yeah.
That's why I like gold because gold varies. Gold can go from like 60s to 80s to 90s, and that's
Yeah.
why because you've always and then you never get the repetition of one song every day.
I'm like an old trance guy, me. So I usually put a bit of a playlist on my phone or something, a bit of
Really?
above and beyond. Or
Yeah, I sort of vary from station to station.
Yeah.
I might
I
have.
can see you being like Radio 6 or something. Like
BBC Radio 2.
Did they go up to Radio 6?
that. Have you listened to Radio 6 before?
is it a thing?
Yeah, it's
Radio 6?
awful.
Shipping forecasts.
No, it's,
Yeah.
it's like deep
Dogger Fisher
thought
Banks.
on like a script and someone reading like a book.
Is
It's
it?
like a dark story. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah,
Don't
I can't imagine that
Don't
being
listen
much
to
of a thing. Yeah.
Finger.
Another top film, Yorkshire film, Kes. You ever seen it?
Yes, I don't think. No, that doesn't ring a bell.
You ever
Kes.
seen it? Oh, it's a great film.
Kes.
Based in Yorkshire, about a young kid at school. finds a little kestrel bird and raises it.
Oh, that's why Bo Selector guy says me and our Kez, and he just follows him around.
Yeah.
Just me and our Kez.
What a film, mate. Honestly, proper gritty Yorkshire film.
The-
One of the
that's
best
other one,
bits in it, what is it scored? They're playing football on pitch, and there's two chubby kids and they're playing slaps. Teacher comes up, he says, "What you know, playing slaps?" Show me. Boom, straight around the head.
What was the other one? The Rita, Sue and Bob 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's an old one. That.
Yeah,
Watched
another one.
I shouldn't have watched it when I was young, but I watched it when I was young, and it's a funny film. Yeah, I might watch it again.
Surprising how you can make being a nonce funny, isn't it?
He wasn't Nancy though, was he?
He
They were
was
like
shagging two-
18-year-old girls.
They weren't. They were two school kids. He was shagging. You know what? Babysitter. He was shagging babysitters. Two 16-year-olds, not 15-year-olds.
It's always him. He's always the one who drops it.
Yeah.
I was,
Donny
in you,
lads.
I was in you too, getting fingered like.
In the cornfield with my
I'm
finger.
Getting
In a
fingered. Going fingers.
Gold finger.
Sorry about the conversation. He's dropped it.
Oh yeah, cool news.
Yeah, the ladies in the room.
Oh, funny.
Got warm now.
Got warm now, yeah.
Yeah,
I need a drink.
No.
So we're going to wrap it up.
So that's probably, we're up to about time now. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for turning up today and
No,
coming
but
having a
mate.
general
thanks
chat.
for the invitation.
Thank you, mate.
Hope everybody sort of enjoys it. We're going to be going on to our challenge next, which is the fastest driver of the West. Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Nikita! Very good. Like that.
Thank you.
That's quality, that is.
Brought a Black and Decker. mate.
That's
What are you on
good. So I hope everybody's
Black and Decker. Special.
about? A Ryobi.
So I hope everybody enjoys it, and we'll get on with the challenge and see who's the winner. Bang, bang. Right, we're here for the final challenge of the day, the fastest driver of the West. This could go quite weird very quickly. So, as normal, we're here to see who can drive the fastest screw in using our impact drivers that we use every day. Some of us, maybe not every day. So we can get ours ready. Terry the fucking hell.
I'm ready, boys. You didn't say. You said bring a drill.
No, he said bring your impact driver.
He said bring a drill.
No.
Well, this'll go to show. This will be fun then. This will be fun. Oh, see, you got a little beauty there.
Always be prepared.
Right then, let's lock and load.
All right, let me check the speed.
Everybody all right?
Yep.
We all good? We happy? Yes? Right, counters down.
Ready, set, go.
Yes!
I'll slip. We're going to have to...
Oh, see? I told you, good old Betsy.
slip.
Right, the McKean been really
As-
showing up.
As I said at the beginning, I am the winner.
It's his show.
Hang on. Choo, choo, choo.
Isn't looking good.
Well done, Milwaukee. Now we'll find out what the results are and we'll put it on the board. Right, we've got to the end of the challenge and the scores are finally on the board. So let's have a look. What's on the scores? As we can see, I'm still at the top because I am the best. Boo! As we can see, Terry's down here in third place with 202. Well done, Terry. Scott, 288. Again, good performance by Scott. And Sansa just scraping in at the bottom with a 356. Hey, never mind. Maybe better luck next time, mate, when he gets a better drill. So, well done, everybody. Congratulations. And we'll see you next time for the next challenge. Just like to say a big thank you to everybody, to Scott, for Terry, and obviously for Sam. I'm your host, Stuart. Thanks very much.